What is up, everyone, and welcome to the Crossroads Podcast, your place to get the latest news, events, and discussion in the world of PlayStation, PC, and Xbox gaming. It's your boy, LeRon Dawkins, welcoming all of you wonderful people back to the show. You know, everyone that enjoys video games, that is, because I've been basically, if I say the certain G word now, I have to deposit money into the swear jar, basically, because some people get triggered. And those people would be Mr. Stoy.
I'm not the sensitive snowflake you think I am, sir. But let me tell everybody, this man right before recording is saying that Bayonetta is better than Devil May Cry. The words that come out of your mouth, sir, I feel like Bayonetta. You do it just to purposely get me.
I feel like Bayonetta is a superior Devil May Cry clone. Now, note, I said the superior Devil May Cry clone. I didn't even throw God of War in there because God of War is also a Devil May Cry clone. But you know what? I'm leaving it alone. We
gotta stop comparing games to other games. Make the game stand alone on its own. Because every side-scrolling platformer is a Mario clone now. That's what you did. Every open world RPG is now a Final Fantasy clone.
See what
you did?
Can we please, before our other co-host is like, Mom, Dad, please stop fighting?
He's used to this.
I am. Trust me. This is nothing new to me.
He's so numb to this now. He's like, Mom and Dad are fighting again. So.
Every Tuesday thing.
Yeah.
Also, welcome back, Stoy, and also welcome back, Andre. Like I said, I can never do this show without you guys. Y'all make this show what it is. You really do.
Good to be back, and I just want to just be clear. You said that Bayonetta is a clone of Devil May Cry, which means in the end, the root is Bayonetta copied Devil May Cry, and it still wasn't as good as Devil May Cry.
Wah, wah. 2 against 1.
Dante's my boy. What are you gonna say? Dante's my boy. Him, Nero, his brother.
This dude was beating monsters in his bar while sliding on top of another monster, shooting dual pistols. This man was John Wick before John Wick was even like.
Dante is the most stylish killer I've ever seen.
I will give you guys the whole Dante thing. I will give you guys the whole Virgil thing, but I'm sorry, they introduced Nero in Devil May Cry 4.
Leave my boy Johnny Bosch alone.
And all I can fucking say is, I'm like, why are we playing the game with not Dante? And then get halfway through the game, and then Dante shows up, and I'm like, oh. And now we're playing the game in reverse as Dante, and I'm like, what the hell is going on in this game?
Okay. I'll give you that.
Out during Metal Gear Solid 2, where all of a sudden I'm not playing a Solid Snake anymore. What's up with this?
No, I had no problem with Solid Snake riding.
I was confused too, actually.
Y'all were confused? I was not confused. I was like, okay, like this is interesting. Let's see what happens.
Well, I thought every trailer that came out of Metal Gear Solid 2 was like Solid Snake's now Snake, and all of a sudden, I'm playing as this fucking tool in a skin suit.
actually,
playing as a tool in a skin suit.
Actually, every trailer was like Solid Snake, the ninja. that's how the trailers went. No one knew anything about riding.
Yeah, right. That's what I just said.
Look, I will give you Devil May Cry 3 with Nero was a bit odd. Was it 3?
4.
All right, 4. That was a bit odd. I'll give you that.
3 was a masterpiece. Hard as fuck, but 3 was a masterpiece.
Sorry, my apologies. 4, bit odd. 5 goes hard as shit. You can't even say anything.
5 is great. 5
and Nero, that was Nero's redemption story.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
But 4 was odd. 4 was odd. I'll give you that.
I'm telling you, the even numbered Devil May Cries are just.
But DMC is the best one. I think so.
I really enjoyed the hell out of that.
Yeah, that was probably like my top 2. Ninja
DMC
did a really good job with it.
It's so good. Good.
Yeah. So guys, we've got a fun packed show. Are you guys ready to get into it?
Let us know in the comments if you think Bayonetta is superior to Devil May Cry. I really want to know.
Yes, please.
Maybe I'm in the minority. I don't know, but we got a dude with big swords. A big sword or a girl that attacks people with her hair. I mean, I'll give it to you guys. Bayonetta's cool as shit. I mean, she could do some amazing things, and she's acrobatic as hell. But I don't know. I just think combat-wise, I know more what's going on in Devil May Cry than I do with Bayonetta.
Well, yeah.
And Stoy, look,
I don't mind being wrong.
If you're against the world, I am right beside you.
Thank you.
It's me and you,
Andre. We're
gonna stare down the group or the
Andre. You do know I asked you onto this show, whereas Corey asked Stoy onto this show.
Yeah, but LeRon, I think you forget that me and Stoy bonded over hating Mario. That goes deep.
Yeah, that goes deep. Yeah,
that goes.
And Corey felt you needed an antagonist.
There's that too.
You are the protagonist in this story, and I am your antagonist.
Yeah,
every good hero needs a good villain.
It's true. So, hey, you're Batman and Joker right here. I mean,
yep.
Hey, you know,
I guess that means I'm the Joker.
You know, are we ready? Are we ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? These guys. I'm the Joker, baby.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Let's talk about what we've been playing. Of course, Mr. Wilson, you have the floor.
Yes, I have been playing. I have been grinding out Persona. I think I'm at the second to last palace, and then I'll be done the game. Sadly, but I'm planning on playing either. I'm torn between Metroid Prime or Persona 4 after Persona 5, so I'm not sure which one to go. I've heard both are great. I played Metroid Prime in the past, so I'm not sure. LeRon, you have something you want to say?
Of course he does.
Did you beat Days Gone?
I was getting to that. So
okay. My bad.
Days Gone. It's all good. Days Gone has been a slow burn. I'm past the part where I got to long before. Sorry, I got past the part I previously was at when I played it on PlayStation. I am long past that part now. I made huge discoveries in the game. Stoy, I actually messaged you the day I made the discovery, and I was poofed. My mind was so blown away when I
was like, oh no, he has no idea, because you were like, I burned down the church where we got married, and that was like good redemption, and now I could finally move on. I was like, oh no.
And I moved on. No. I moved on.
You are not moving on, sir.
I moved on. Okay. Yeah. I won't.
No, you didn't.
I am back in it now.
Yeah, you are. You just dove right back in.
Something I don't understand is, I'll try and word this without spoiling it, is, so you obviously know that I messaged you. I sense there's something going on between those two people. I don't know what it is. Like, it's not like a I'm happy that I was right, but there's I think there's some anger in between them.
It's interesting because
because like when they first met, that
was tense. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It was so tense. Like, he walks in the tent, and I immediately knew, I'm like, this can't be right. And then said person turns around, and I'm like, holy shit. I was like, he was right. I was like, oh my God, he was right the whole time, right? But now, just as I played the game and they've interacted, I sense there's something going on with them. And I'm like, what is it? Because every time they talk, there's like tense and anger. And I'm like, what's going to happen? Right? So the story has blown open. I'm past the point where I wasn't sure if I was going to abandon the game or continue it. I'm here to the end now. I am so invested in this game. I owe it to myself now. If I don't, I'd be so upset with myself. But yeah, Days Gone. I'm super in it. Hopefully I'm getting towards the end soon. Same with Persona. Other than that, that's all I've been playing.
It will kind of, you'll come to understand it, because there are certain reasons, and it's primarily the other person. It's not primarily you. It's primarily the other person that you do some missions where you start to kind of like talk things out.
Okay. See, I kind of had a feeling it was the other person.
Yeah.
But I just don't know the reasoning.
And and there will be reasoning, and it's just
okay.
I mean, so it's not like it's like all of a sudden you'll see a cut scene where like
and then it just explained. It's a slow explanation.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool. I'm very excited. Very, very excited to.
Yeah, there's a reason. So, I say stay with it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, I'm on this train until it hits the end of the platform. So I'm here.
Cool.
Cool. That's it for me.
All right, Stoy, you're up.
I am playing Hogwarts Legacy.
Which house are you?
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
They asked me 2 questions in the beginning. Like all of a sudden, like the game opens up, you're in a carriage, flying, and then you get attacked by a dragon. A dude dies, and everyone's just like, "Whoa, that was a crazy carriage ride!" And I'm like, "A dude just died." Like, I was like blown away. I was like, that 2 dudes died technically. 2 dudes died, and you're just like, wow, that was a crazy dragon. Like a couple people died, and you guys are just sitting here like, oh boy, let's get moving.
They're like, wow, crazy ride. Welcome to Hogwarts, and you're like, hey, does no one understand that guy?
Yeah, like that guy's not here anymore.
Yeah,
neither is the other guy.
Okay, I'll just come into my house now.
Yeah, really, honestly, that's what it was. They were just like, why are you late? I'm sorry, 2 dudes just died on my way here. Sorry.
My bad. How dare you? How dare your tardiness for being late to Hogwarts?
Yeah, really, honestly, that's how it was. It's like, you're late. It's like, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, but getting past that kind of weird like kerfluffle, I answer. I sit on the chair and they put the hat on you, and the hat talks to you, and you answer 2 questions, and then he says, "Yeah, House Gryffindor," or you could like decide to, choose a different house if you want.
I heard the game lets you choose.
The game does, yeah. So like
Okay.
you could go with what the hat chooses for you, or you could just choose yourself.
Oh, that's cool. Okay,
Yeah,
so it still has the whole like the hat chooses for you. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, so the hat chose Gryffindor for me, so I was like, all right, I'll just stick with it, whatever, no big deal. I don't think it really matters in the grand scheme of things because the story just advances the way it does. You may just interact with more closely with different characters. But yeah, I mean, the game looks amazing. Game looks gorgeous. Like just everything runs so seamless. Like when you're walking through all the rooms and all the wings of Hogwarts, you walk outside, it's everything runs like no load times on the PS5. Everything runs at like a really steady click, like just amazing. I mean, it's just like a kind of like it's got those RPG elements and everything, and it's really rich with lore, like of what's happened before the events of like the Harry Potter movies and the Harry Potter books. But I have no idea of a lot of the lore, but this game kind of is helping me understand it, and kind of know what's going on. Like apparently, like there's like a goblin revolution.
Yeah, in the books, I believe it talks about the Goblin Revolution briefly, but like, yeah, I think that's mentioned in the books because the books talk way more than the films.
Yeah, right.
So I think you'll experience some of the things that were in the book now that you're in that certain time frame.
Yeah, because like I mean, the game kind of lends itself to like you. So obviously, you're a special character. That has a special innate ability that you have no idea what it is. It's a kind of like a standard like video game trope. It's like, oh hey, you're the chosen one. You have this special ability, and of course you have no idea what it is. You're like, I don't know why. So like you could read this like ancient magic language or something like that, and you're one of the very, very, very few wizards in history or witches that can read this language, and now you have like special wizard powers that you have no idea how you're able to control. But so that's kind of where I'm at in the story. But overall it's like a really solid fun game. I mean, wand powers are amazing. There's not a real wide variety of enemies at this point. I think I'm like 8 hours in.
I have to ask, have you like used the curse killing spell yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Anyone who plays that, I just ask if they've learned that and killed people yet.
Okay. No.
Wow. What is wrong with you, man? What is wrong with you?
It's the killing curse. I mean, like, there's memes about it everywhere. So
no, I've seen it. Like when I started upgrading my talents, I saw there was like there's like certain tiers of like spells you can unlock, and then it's like one of them is the dark arts, and it's like, oh damn, like you're like crucifying that guy with this spell. That's kind of whoa, that's sick. You know?
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of like killing spells you can learn.
Yeah. Yeah, like you're kind of like picking up the dark arts, like you're throwing fireballs at people, setting them on fire. It's crazy.
You've never like LeRon, have you seen any memes of it? Like the
No.
Oh, okay, that's why.
No, and it's not that I've been avoiding them or anything. I just haven't seen any.
Oh, okay. If I ever find one, I'll send it to you because then you'll.
I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
This game should be rated M for mature.
It goes hard like that?
Well, yeah, like you're killing people. I mean, 2 dudes died in the beginning of the game. like they got launched from they plummeted to their deaths.
Well, then again,
you know how terrifying that is.
Well, then the movies went hard though. Like I mean, the movies went hard after what? Movie 3 is where it started going hard.
Yeah, but that happened behind the scenes. That happened behind the scenes.
Movie, yeah.
The Prisoner of Azkaban, that was 3, right?
Yeah, 3, and then 4, and it was just like a deep dive into
Goblet,
like that.
Yeah, Goblet of Fire was like, whoa, they're killing kids now.
Yeah. That's when I can't remember his name. Cedric Diggory.
Cedric Diggory
died at the end because he got I think Avada Kedavra. He died.
What?
Oh, you nerd! I don't even know what the hell that was.
Avada Kedavra is the ultimate killing curse. There's 3 of them. There's Crucio, there's another one, and then there's Avada Kedavra.
I'm not even that. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I am too. It's hilarious though, but I am too.
I'm surprised you haven't played this game. Have you like? Do you want to play this game?
Yeah. You're
talking to him.
I asked Andre. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like my thing was, do I stop playing Days Gone, or do I continue it, or do I stop playing it and play Harry Potter? And now I'm too invested into Days Gone. So after Days Gone, I'll start Harry Potter.
Andre, you gotta be like how I'm being in 2023. I'm trying to do one game at a time right now. All
the while playing Monster Hunter continuously.
Oh, okay, so it's
no.
I just bought Monster Hunter Rise for the 3DS.
Ooh.
Or Monster Hunter, the story one.
Monster Hunter Stories.
Yeah, I just found it for the 3DS.
You found it? Oh, cool,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Stoy. In 2023, I think I've only played Monster Hunter 3 times. So, like, it being February 21st right now as of this recording, I've only played Monster Hunter 3 times. Like, I've had other games go because I don't
believe you for a second.
I began the new year finishing Callisto Protocol. Took a little bit of time and went right back to Then I went right back to Uncharted 4, beat that, and by the time I beat that, Dead Space was here, that's been consuming my life right now. So the only time I've actually jumped on Monster Hunter is when any of my friends were like, "Hey, I need some help with something. Can you jump on real fast?"
I don't believe you.
You don't have to believe me.
That's fine.
You don't have to believe me.
He probably has a Smurf account where he just levels up.
I don't know if I have the patience for a Smurf account. I really don't. I really don't.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Andre, you want to say something?
I was going to say it's the Cruciato Curse, Imperius, and Avada Kedavra. That's all I was going to say.
You fucking nerd.
I was just gonna point that out.
Thank you, Story, because I didn't want to say it again.
Point that out.
We should.
That's me.
We really don't condone bullying here on the Crossroads podcast, but it's hilarious when it happens.
Look, I will pull out my wand from under my desk.
No wands.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare! No! I don't know if you're being literal or if you're being figurative, but
no wands. Don't you do it?
We have to post this video podcast on Pornhub.
Hey, that might give us the biggest hits ever.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I have a wand. I'm not kidding.
That's great.
Where's your sorting hat?
It's in my closet.
Where's your broom and your golden snitch?
That's outside with my hippogriff.
Oh, bro, yeah, I just learned how to fly too on my broom. It's cool that you could like buy different kinds of brooms, and I picked the one that looks most like a motorcycle. Is that sad?
No, it's very Stoy of you.
I gotta be me. I gotta be
Right,
me.
exactly. Is flying in the game like is the transition from like walking to flying fluid, or is there like a
yeah, you literally can just like kind of do the dropio or whatever the hell the spell's name is, where like you drop the thing and then you jump on and you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I played like an hour of Atomic Heart before coming in here.
Oh, okay.
And that game is BioShock. It's like BioShock in the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Like it's crazy. Like it's killer robots, future tech. Like it's like a kind of like a fictional society where like the Soviet Union, kind of like Wolfenstein, where like Wolfenstein was like, hey, the Nazis won World War II and they're technologically advanced beyond measure. Now it's like the Soviet Union is that way, and they're creating tech that, you know, they're building robots that look like humans and talk like humans, and they're also building mind fuckery machines that will, like, you know, anyway. But I want to talk about Wanted Dead.
Wanted Dead, all right.
Wanted Dead, yeah, that game's fucking crazy. It's been like, I hear it's been getting bad reviews, and probably for good reason, but I don't think people really understand what this game is.
Well, I actually heard Atomic Heart was getting bad reviews too.
I don't know why. I mean, it's
maybe maybe they don't understand it, I guess.
I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I can't really judge. I'm only an hour into that game, but Wanted Dead, I've sunk in significant time in.
What? Sorry, I googled Atomic Heart gameplay. What are you fucking playing? Holy shit!
Yeah, it's
that game looks so wild.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, you have this. Yeah, the one complaint I have about it so far is that your main character is an asshole.
Why is that a complaint?
Well, he's an asshole because like he has a glove that talks to him.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So it's like a glove that has like special powers and abilities and whatever.
Similar to the bracelet in Forspoken.
Yeah, and the bracelet kind of talks to you, but at the very least you're having a civil conversation with the bracelet kind of in Forspoken, whereas like this glove is like trying to be helpful and you're like, shut up, eat my left nut. And it's like, fuck, man. Like, no, he literally says that. He's like,
oh, wow.
You know, anyway, but like, yeah, it's like, bro, fucking chill, man. And the robot's like, I'm just trying to give you information. He's like, well, fuck off. And then like, okay, dude, chill out.
Oh, okay. Then.
Yeah. Like sometimes that's like annoying. I don't know if it gets better. God, I hope it does, because that's gonna be annoying to hear every time like the robot's like, hey, I just highlighted your next objective. Like, fuck you, I don't need you to do that. Like, come on, man.
All right,
I
buddy,
do.
I get it. Maybe you don't, but I do.
Jesus.
the arm's gonna be getting the objectives like, bitch, stop telling me what to do.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, I need to be told what to do. I don't know where I'm going.
I don't know where I'm going.
Come on, man.
Oh man.
God, I feel like this segment's long. Okay, Wanted Dead is like you're a robot cyborg enhanced human police force in Hong Kong, and you're fighting a private military company that's trying to take over the police duties in the city, and all the while you're uncovering a conspiracy that has something to do with humanoid robots trying to take over the world or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The highlights of this game is that the game is B-level movie action, and just, I mean, it's glorious. Like, imagine the most corny B cop movie that you've ever seen. Like, that's what this game is. I think the localization is really what makes it, because I think this is the voice acting and the writing is done by a Swiss developer.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's got broken German and Swiss accents, and it's just it's great. Like, it's just It's a good blend of like sword combat with shooting mechanics. The game can get hard, like if you're not quick and focused. Like you really have to kind of blend the gun combat with the sword combat. So like if you decide, hey, I just want to go around and slash all the enemies in the screen, or I got to keep my distance because some of these enemies are powerful as shit. So I got to use my assault rifles, SMGs, shotguns, whatever. But I mean, the game runs solid with that. The game can be kind of difficult though. I died. I would say about 2 hours in, I died multiple times in one area, and the game asked me, "Hey, do you want to put it on Neko Power mode?" Which basically means easy mode. So after a while, I was like, "No, tell me what to do." And I kept dying, and I'm like,
there you go.
I kept dying, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I ain't got time for this. So I put it on easy mode, and when you do that, you have to play the entire game with cat ears.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's what Neko.
Yeah,
got
Neko cat. Yeah. You get it now. It's because you're a pussy, I guess.
So the game basically calls you a bitch.
Yeah, basically.
Nice. That's a solid thing.
But which is fine. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm having a blast with it. It's not easy by any means. It's still a challenge. You still have to kind of know what you're doing and know how to chain together combos and combat elements and stuff. But the game really shines in the characters and just the interactions with them. Like you actually have a lot of time in between missions where you're interacting with your characters, the characters in your team, and even like the police officers in your police station, because in between every mission, you're kind of wandering around the police station, kind of interacting, kind of seeing what other people are doing. And just there's a karaoke mini game. You can time buttons to the tune of a really bad German dub of "When I Think About You, I Touch Myself." That song.
Oh, okay.
That's hilarious. Hilarious.
It's not. It's cringy.
Oh, but it's cringy. Okay.
But it's kind of funny because it's just, the lyrics are sung in like a German accent. And then there's a ramen eating mini game where you're competing against someone else to eat as many bowls of ramen as you can. That's interesting. But yeah, I don't know. This game is batshit. I love it. I'm here for it.
Well, cool. Anything else? That's it for you?
Oh God, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Metroid Prime Remastered is amazing game. 10 out of 10. Go.
Yeah. I agree with you on that one. I'm only going to talk about one game here because I'm still playing Dead Space. I have been enjoying every minute of my misadventures on board the USG Ishimura. Let me tell you, I just okay. So I don't know if I mentioned this the last time we talked about it, but the game is not linear like the original game was. Like you can backtrack. You can now go because like in the original game, like hitting the tram, like that basically meant you were no longer going back to a section of the game because one section of the game is a chapter. Well, now you can go anywhere you want to go, as long as you meet certain requirements, stuff like that. So I just got through completing all like there's side quests now in the game. You got side quests because you got side quests where you're trying to find out like what's going on with Nicole. You've got side quests where you're finding out like you guys know the regenerator, right? You learn about the regenerator's origins. You learn about that in a side quest. And you've got another side quest where it's talking about I can't remember what specifically. Oh, having to do with like Dr. Kine and what's going on with him and everything, right? So once you get all these side quests done, you unlock what's called the master security clearance, and so like throughout the game, sometimes you get the lockers or doors and stuff that you cannot open because you need an elevated security clearance. Sometimes you get it just because like story progression, and sometimes you get it because you meet some objectives and stuff like that. Once you get the master security clearance, then you wind up getting expansions on the weapons, like more upgrades and stuff, because that's another difference that Dead Space has versus the original game, the Dead Space remake, is that remember how you used to upgrade your weapons and you rig and all that stuff? Like basically all you had to do was those power nodes and just start pumping them in. Well, you have to get weapon and augmentation updates to actually expand the grid map of your your upgrades and stuff like that. So basically, you just doing a whole bunch of things like, and if you miss something, you might not get the fully updated plasma cutter and stuff like that. Well, take it one step further because the master security clearance gets you basically like upgrades to like some of the other stuff. Like for example, I just found out that the kinesis module, the thing that you can use to slow stuff down, stasis. The stuff that you can slow things down. When you get it's called the prototype stasis module. When you hit something with it, it basically stops them, but it also does damage over time to the necromorphs. So I'm like, hell yeah, let's do this and stuff like that. So yeah, but here's something cool for you guys. This is an Easter egg, and it was amazing. Like remember Dead Space 2 when you first started, and you see a vid log of Isaac talking to Nicole and talking about how she talked them into going to the Eastern Mirror and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
When you wind up hearing that transmission in the game. It's like It's an unexpected bonus, and I was like, oh my god! And it just feels like it's more and more telling me that they're probably gonna remake Dead Space 2, which I'm ready for it.
They might as well commit. I mean, take a page from Capcom's book. They keep remaking the old game, so yeah.
Yeah, for real.
If that's the case, if they remake 2, they better sure as shit remake 3.
They need to remake 3.
That one I'm worried about.
They need to remake 3, but here's my question though: Do they basically remake it, as it is, or actually no, because like with the way that they've expanded the game for Dead Space 1, they included almost all the lore of everything that happened, in like the side, in like the graphic novels, the movie that was attached to the game and everything. I love that. They've even managed to find clever ways to pull stuff from Dead Space 2 into Dead Space 1 because they do mention Titan Station in the game. They do mention that, and that was fucking awesome too. Stuff like that. So my thing is like when we get it. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say I think the advantage that they have is that the writing for the lore of the original Dead Space trilogy is pretty much done because I can't imagine they had everything written by the first one. They probably had no idea it was going to be such a success. So they probably had no idea Titan Station was going to be a thing until they actually started writing for 2. Yeah. So that's where it's like I think they have it's beneficial for them now to be remaking these games, and now they could really intertwine the story together to kind of have it make more sense, especially for new players.
Yeah, and that's I think that's the beauty of it because like somebody asked me the other day like because he was like I'd never played like any of the Dead Space games, should I at least play like the old ones? And I told him flat out no, you don't have to.
You don't have to. Yeah,
you don't have to play. If anything, you don't at least have to play Dead Space 1. You don't have to, and like if you pre-ordered the game, they gave you a free copy of Dead Space 2.
On Steam, right?
Yeah, on Steam. Yeah, I think there was one other place you got a free copy too, but I know for sure you got it for Steam because like it was automatically in my library, and I'm like, I already have this on Origin, and I was going to give it away to somebody, but they automatically put it in my library, so I can't do shit with it except have it in my Steam library.
I got a free game in my library. Oh no!
Well, no, I was legit going to give it away. And speaking of giveaways, I have a PlayStation 5 copy of Dead Space, the remake, that I'm going to give away.
I'll take it.
So
I have it for the Xbox. I'll take it.
So just be on the lookout for that. We'll give you some details on how you might be able to win your. Unfortunately, I only have the PlayStation 5 version though, so like that's the only one you're eligible to get. So I'm sorry.
That's the only one you should play.
Huh? What?
That's the only one you should be playing is the PS5 version.
The PS5 version?
Yeah. Technically, no. You should be playing it on the Series X. Because Dead Space 2 and 3 is backwards compatible. So when you beat 1, you could just jump right into 2 later. Okay. Unless you're playing on Steam.
I like that logic. Okay. Yeah, we can't fault that logic because technically on the console sides, the PS5 version is a stronger version on a technical standpoint according to Digital Foundry. But each 3 iterations of the game have their pluses and minuses and stuff like that. Like we're not going to talk about like all the jumping through hoops I had to do like to get the PC version to play like pretty nice, and it's playing nice. I don't have any issues now, but day one I was like, come on, man.
You guys are really making this PC Master Race thing very enticing for people.
Well, you know what?
It seems like a lot of AAA games recently have had problems.
Well, yeah, come on, you guys know why. They build primarily for console first, and then they port the finished project to the PC.
It used to be the other way around.
Yeah, that's some of the major problems of like we had games like Callisto Protocol, like acting a fucking fool day one. Wild Hearts, which I almost impulse bought because like the ad campaign for that was like, you know what? I don't really like Monster Hunter clones, but I'll give this one a try. Thank God I didn't spend $70 for that, because day one I'd have been pissed.
Why? What happened? Was it unplayable?
It's a buggy mess. It's a buggy mess on all three platforms.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a buggy mess on all 3 platforms. And these are people who are responsible for Dynasty Warriors 9 and 10, I think, So like these guys know how to make a game of that caliber, but like they did a bad job. Well, they just did a bad job, overall. And I'm not saying it, in a way to crucify the company, because like everybody makes mistakes. We're in this day and age of modern gaming, like nothing really comes out strong. Hogwarts Legacy, had stuttering issues on PC. What else? Forspoken, had problems across all 3 platforms. Every company, I don't know what it is about modern gaming. Hopefully, maybe some of this stuff will iron itself out when Unreal 5, gets put into productive use.
I think it is now. But Andre, did you hear that finally the developers of Chrono Cross are actually going to throw out an update?
Holy shit.
I just saw this pop through on Twitter just yesterday, I think, where like the developers were like, "Hey, we're gonna finally release an update to fix a lot of these problems everyone's been complaining about for
God."
I was like, "Really now? Jesus!"
You might have lost half your player base, but GG's.
Yeah, right.
I don't think Andre's been paying attention to anything except for the fact that Laser and Dragoon is now on PlayStation Plus.
I don't even want.
Dude, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go with that, man. I can't wait to talk about that.
I was so bricked up when I saw that game. I was like, "Let's go!"
Wait till we get to this segment, bricked up with Andre, Stoy, and LeRon.
Yeah, I had to make sure as soon as I saw the news that I was like, man, Andre's gonna love this. Like, Andre's probably gonna bake me a red velvet cake and send it to me.
Yeah, I will punch a baby seal to a PS5 and play that game. Let me tell you, I don't even care, man. That game is all I want to play.
All right, well that basically wraps it up for this round of what are we playing? Hey guys, we actually did this in under 30 minutes. This round of what are we playing? We did it in under 30 minutes, so we're getting somewhere.
It's a first for us.
But you know what? Let's go ahead and roll into the notable games coming out, which, here's that rundown, for the 20th of February through the 26th of February. And you know what, guys? Like, it's a loaded roster. I'm just going to say that much. It's a loaded roster.
And we got a big piece of hardware coming out this week too. Actually, technically tomorrow, but by the time everybody listens to this,
it'll already be released. But by the time you listen to this, we'll also have had a state of play. So there's that. Hey, Andre, you want to get us started?
Sure. Yeah. I just want to quickly say, Stoy, I've been watching, I think for like 10 minutes now, Wanted Dead gameplay. That game looks sick as shit.
Yeah, it really
actually
is. Yeah. One of my favorite things that the game does is that do you know that meme with the kids where like, he goes into the camera, I'm gonna end this whole man's career, and all the kids are going, "Oh!" And then the one kid like going across. So that's the load screen in the game. Instead of those kids, they actually impose the characters of the game in there.
No,
so like,
really?
So there's literally a cat. There's literally a cat in the background doing this. Like, it's actually, it's pretty hilarious. I'll find the video on YouTube.
So funny.
Yeah,
please do. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Holy cannolis, Batman. Okay, Monday, the February 20th, we have Game Deck. I think think I said that right. Game Deck?
Yeah, Game Deck. Yep.
Game Deck is an RPG. Game Deck is an adaptive cyberpunk RPG. As a private detective, it's your job to solve crimes inside virtual worlds. What decisions will you make in a world where child slavery is a F2P game, free-to-play game? There you go. Where murder over a game clan dispute is an everyday reality. Who will you become in the XX11 century? I don't know how to read that. My apologies.
The 22nd century?
That's what I thought it was. Damn it. I should have went with my gut. Idiot.
I love you, man.
I love you too. Mythargia?
Yeah, Mythargia. Yep.
Yeah, okay, woo! 2 for 2. Indie game for the PC. My dream setup is a simulation game about building the room you've always dreamed. Stoy, you're in. A huge selection of furniture, computers, and their accessories, posters, pictures, plants, and other goddamn interior details await you. Try all of them, and create your dream setup.
I'm sorry.
God forbid you do this in real life.
I would play this game. I would play that game.
Yeah,
I would too. I'd have a lot of fun with this game, only because I've always
well. Technically, if you get Hogwarts Legacy, you get access to the Room of Requirement, where you can actually design your own personal room.
The Room of Requirement in Harry Potter is a room that I'm just kidding. I won't go into it.
That sounds like a porn room. I'm sorry.
No, it's a room where if you think of something, it comes to fruition, and you can make it happen.
Yep.
Oh my bad. I guess I need to brush up on my Pottermore skills. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's a room that.
That's why I let Andre describe it.
Yeah, it's a room where basically you walk in there and you're like, I'm thinking of a place to hide, and the room will hide you essentially.
Yeah. Or I'm thinking of a sofa and
a sofa will pop up. Yeah. So, Tuesday, today, February 22nd. Atomic Heart. I won't go too into it because as Stoy talked about it a bit. But that is for the PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. Aka R Retro Shoot 'em is available.
Look at this guy. This guy's on a roll. We have not had a chance to correct his grammar yet.
Thank God. Like a Dragon Ishin. 18. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God. I was like, no, I got that wrong.
Don't disrupt his flow. Let him keep going.
1860s is plagued by widespread inequality, and where a samurai will change the course of history in a search for justice. Take up the sword of Sakamoto Ryoma and venture to Kyoto to find your father's killer. I was real careful on that one. Clear yourself of a framed murder and restore your honor in doing so. You will bring an end to the samurai era and forever change the future of Japan. Draw your blade, load your revolver, and join the revolution in this heated historical adventure that only the creators of Yakuza Like a Dragon could produce. I've heard of this game, and it looks really interesting because you can have a sword and then bust up like a musket and kill people.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a dirty game. It's dirty.
Yeah. Super wild. That's for the PlayStation, PC, and Xbox.
I wonder if you guys are thinking about that other samurai game.
That game's not
samurai. Yeah, that game's not going to be out for like another year, I think. But the one that's being developed, I think by.
Anyway, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Tomorrow is Happy PSVR 2 Day, the 22nd.
They're just way too many games to throw in the segment. But if you need to know, 40+ titles are going to drop for PSVR 2.
Many of them are free upgrades if you've already had them. Like I think No Man's Sky is a free upgrade. Pistol Whip,
GT7.
Yeah, GT7. If you have the copy of GT7 that has Resident Evil Village, I think that's getting the VR
Resident Evil Village. Yep.
F that game. Game.
Yep.
Swordsman VR is getting a free upgrade. Zenith the Last City is getting a free upgrade. Yeah, those are the notable ones. Like, I mean, we could probably take a sidebar and talk about it, but not during the new notable game segment.
No, there's so many. Pardon me. Where am I? Blood Bowl 3. Sports game. Human, orcs, dwarves, elves, Skaven, beatsmen, and cheerleaders give all they've got. Watch the various iconic teams from the Blood Bowl world throwing both punches and the ball in an effort to score touchdowns or simply to cripple and maim the opposing teams. The epitome of Blood Bowl American football.
Epitome.
Did I get? Oh, epitome. Damn it! I was so close. The epitome.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this we're now on Thursday, the 23rd of February.
Are we? Oh, I didn't even notice that. I'm so sorry. I thought this was all tomorrow. Yes, this is Thursday.
No.
I'm so sorry. That is all
okay.
me.
It's okay. I got you, bro. I got you.
Thank you. I would have just continued. American football mixed up with the fantasy world of Warhammer. That's very interesting, resulting in a very deep and tactical turn-based game where crushing your opponent under your cleats is just as important as getting hold of the ball to score a touchdown. This sounds like, if I'm not mistaken, is it Blitzball from Gears of War?
Similar.
Is that
Wait, okay. No, Blitzball is Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, what is it? It's not Blitzball. Sorry, I can't think of the one that Cole played.
I thought that was Blitzball.
No, Blitzball's Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
Google machine.
Yeah.
Andre, real quick, this is your first time hearing the Blood Bowl? Because it's a thing. Crash, yes.
Thrash Ball is in Gears of War.
Thrash Ball,
yeah. That's it. That's in Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, and yes, this is my first time about hearing about this. I didn't know this was an actual thing though.
Yeah, what story was the first game went on Xbox? The original Xbox, the first Blood Bowl game.
That's the first time I ever heard of it.
Yeah. Like it's kind of a legacy at this point.
Oh, I've seen this. I just didn't. Okay.
This kind of reminds me of like Mutant League football way back in.
Yeah. Taking me back. All right.
Remorse, the List adventure game for the Xbox. This is all still Thursday. Grim Guardians Demon Purge platformer available on all platforms. Metal Mutation roguelike for the PC, and the Signifier VR for adventure game.
Yeah, this is the Oculus Quest game.
Okay. The Signifier VR.
Meta Quest.
Oculus Quest. Don't even. Don't even with that meta shit.
We're saying Oculus.
No.
Is a surreal first-person mystery adventure that blends experimental investigation, psychological, and artificial intelligence, move freely between reality, objective memories, and subjective feelings, searching for clues in mind-bending environments, solving puzzles, and putting the pieces together to reveal the truth. That is for the PC. Company of Heroes is a strategy game, bigger and better than ever. Company of Heroes 3 combines heart-pounding combat with deep strategic choices in a stunning Mediterranean theater of war. In Company of Hero 3's, every battle tells a story. What's yours? PC. Shit.
Here, I'll go ahead and roll us out Friday. All right. On Friday, February 24th, we have Octopath Traveler 2, which is the return of an RPG. Some people argue a classic. This time, the story takes place in Solistia, a land comprising an eastern and western continent divided by the sea. Divided by how is it a continent then? If it's divided by the sea, I don't understand. It is a bustling era wherein large vessels navigate busy sea routes, and the power of steam gives birth to new technologies. Some people thrill to glamorous stars of the stage and industry. That's kind of a weird thing to say, but anyway. While others are brought to tears by war, plague, and poverty. In this faraway realm, 8 travelers hailing from different regions venture forth from their own region or for their own reasons. I'm sorry. You're going to step into their shoes and explore the land as you see fit, using their unique talents to aid you along the way. This is available for PlayStation 4, 5, and the PC. That's kind of weird. I guess Octopath Traveler does not like the Xbox. It's kind of weird.
Well, I know they have I thought this was only coming out on the Switch. I didn't know it was coming out on
Releases.net. Releases.net says PlayStation 4, PS5, and PC.
I mean, I believe you, but
yeah. Yeah. Also, we have Kerbal Space Program 2, the sim game, where in this, the sequel to the acclaimed space flight simulation game, Kerbal Space Program, from Star Theory and Private Division. With the original Kerbal Space Program having become one of the most beloved games of all time and now bigger than ever, Kerbal Space Program 2, okay, I'm just going to say KSP 2 from now on, has been fully redesigned from the ground up to meet the demands of modern and next generation space exploration, all while maintaining a monumental foundations of the first game. Build a space program, construct powerful spacecraft, design resource gathering colonies, and much more to uncover the secrets of the galaxy. A plethora of exciting new features will captivate veteran and returning players, as well as usher in a whole new wave of Kerbonauts to the ingenious and comedic world that has entertained millions of players. KSP2 is available on PC coming this Thursday. We've also got The Pale Beyond, which is an indie title coming out for PC as well. And then Sim Airport, which is a sim title coming out for the Xbox Series X. All right, so including what was mentioned by us in this segment, this week featured over 88 games released across all platforms. This is including the PSVR 2 titles, which we did not mention tonight. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about that. Here's a reminder. All release dates are subject to change, so the Crossroads crew is not responsible for any games that get delayed and or canceled. Thank you very much. All right, fellas. It's time to start talking about the news. We ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Well, all right, let's get started. All right, so first up, we have Microsoft signs a binding contract to bring Xbox games to Nintendo gamers. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and just let you know that it's not as deep as it sounds. It's not as deep because those Xbox games are actually just Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
Microsoft president Brad
It's weird how the media just labeled it as like Xbox games are coming to Nintendo now.
Well,
and then you read the brief and it's all about Call of Duty. Like,
yeah, well, it's honestly because like he ran on the Twitter. Brad Smith ran on the Twitter and announced this morning that Microsoft had entered into a 10-year binding legal agreement with Nintendo to bring Xbox games to Nintendo. You know, and that was the tweet. You know, like of course, like you know, like the Twitterverse, like you know, just started like foaming at the mouth, like trying to get more information and stuff like that. You know, and then, you know, he had to later on come back and say, oh, I meant to say that it's Call of Duty games. Yeah. So that's what we're looking at. Call of Duty's coming to the platform with full feature and content parity following the acquisition of the Activision Blizzard, which I don't think that's 100% solidified just yet, right?
Not quite yet.
Yeah. And his wording seems to suggest it could go beyond Call of Duty as well, but Stoy and I just kind of spelled that out for you guys just now. Just remember, back in December of 2022, Microsoft had announced that it had entered into a 10-year commitment, quotes, to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo in the future. But it sounds like this is the first time now that the commitment has finally, you know, become legal binding and stuff like that. So there's that to take into account. The statements from Brad Smith all occurred on the same day, that being today, Tuesday, February the 21st, where Microsoft is appearing for a major European Commission hearing about the state of their acquisition for Activision Blizzard. So, as we might have more news to come on this later in the week. You know, so just be on your guard to look out for it. Yeah. I'm just going to ask you guys this real quickly, and then we can move on. How do you think Call of Duty is going to be received on the Switch? It's the parity thing that's kind of got me wondering, like because like Overwatch on the Switch, you know, looks good, but it doesn't look like the other versions of Overwatch, if that makes sense. Am I right?
Because the Switch is running on ancient hardware.
Yeah, that's exactly what
seven-year-old hardware to be precise. Well, nearly 7. Actually, yeah, about 7-year-old hardware because, like, you know, the Switch is entering year 6, but it's hardware designed from an Android TV like system. You know.
Now, I think this could be speculation that Nintendo is working on a much more powerful system coming soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that Call of Duty on the current Switch would blow up the Switch. Not actually, but I had
Probably.
this. Yeah, essentially, I had this talk with a friend actually prior to this podcast earlier in the day. He said he would be surprised if when he booted up Tears of the Kingdom, his Switch made like a sound, or like not that sound, but like it didn't make like it didn't lag. And I'm like, you know what? I agree. Like the Switch is old. It's coming out with better and better games, but the software is so far behind that I can see certain games not being up to par. And Call of Duty, for as great as that game is on computer, I can't see it being well on Switch. I can see it just being hot garbage thrown out of the back of a flaming truck.
You'd have to hire a development crew like Beanox, for example. I think they like Call of Duty has like almost like 5 or 6 developers working on each game at every single point. So you could designate one of those developers to just be like, hey, let's create the Switch version of everything. Now, do you literally just pour it over the campaign, the single player campaign only, or do you bring in the whole multiplayer suite? That's a whole nother bag of worms that I can't, dude. Like, I can't imagine Nintendo being able to support that, much less have it be successful.
Yeah. I home in on this one phrase: full feature and content parity. When we say content parity, that means it's supposed to be indistinguishable from its brethren on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. You know, like that bothers me because like that sounds like we might get cloud. You know, and not.
We're gonna get cloud. That's the only way this game can run.
Exactly. Oh, there's Andre's there's his Horcrux. There it is.
Yeah, this is one of my Horcruxes. Hi, Bubby. Oh God! I heard him on the stairs, and I'm like, "Oh, here he comes." Yeah. Why are your hands all red?
All right. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about this topic. We can go ahead and move on to our next topic here. Because speaking of Microsoft, Microsoft has raised the price of the Xbox Series X and S consoles in Sweden. Doom and gloom on the horizon.
Doom and gloom on the horizon. What do you mean? They said they were going to do this.
They didn't. They wait. I don't think they said they were going to raise the price of the consoles. I thought they said like the games were definitely for sure going up.
Well, yeah. Obviously, the AAA games. They did say that they were going to raise prices in other markets, just like Sony said the same thing too. So they weren't going to raise prices in the American markets, though. So
So
this isn't surprising.
So the Series X price has increased from 5,695 SEK, which is approximately $550 US, to $6,195 SEK, which is now $599. Over 2 years after the console launched in November 2020, this was spotted by Game Deputy, Game Deputy, which is just another source that we got the information from.
Okay.
Yeah. Gaming Deputy. My bad.
I'm a gaming deputy. That's my profession.
Also, the Xbox Series S price has risen from 3,595 SEK, which is roughly $347 US, to 3,894 SEK, which is $376. As you like we were stating a moment ago, back in January, Microsoft had also raised the prices of the Xbox Series X and S consoles in Japan. Okay, there it is. Okay, so it is happening. It is happening. It is unusual for 2-year-old hardware to increase in price, but the troubled global situation and inflation may be behind all these increases. Sony, as we know, raised prices, and like the internet lost its fucking mind. But Sony also raised prices by roughly the same amount in 5 different territories and things like that. And then, shortly after, Microsoft said they did not plan on any corresponding increases for the Xbox Series, but here we are. Nintendo hasn't raised prices of the Switch, but then again, it's almost a 6-year-old system and has cost hardware. Yeah, and it's cost roughly the same for the last 5 years or so.
So I could only imagine they're probably making like a killing selling Switches right now, because that hardware has to be like $100.
Oh yeah, but we're gonna talk about that a little bit. We're gonna talk about it a little bit later, in the show, because there's some things going on with Nintendo right now that need to be spotlighted. And this is the Crossroads show, so every now and then if we have some notable Nintendo news to talk about, we're talking about it, because I'm not sure if Nintendo Pal Block
cross the roads. Nintendo occasionally crosses roads with us.
I like it.
Not you like it. I've used this analogy many times. You've always
no. You were doing that Degeneration X bullshit. No, no. Oh, now you're doing
do it with me.
Now you're doing the Wakanda. You're doing the Wakanda Forever. That one's good.
Yeah.
All right. Crossroads Forever.
Crossroads Forever.
Copyright.
All right,
now Disney's got to come after us. Great.
We're an hour into the show. Let's go ahead and break into our next news topic here. PlayStation Plus Extra and Premiums. Big 17 PS5 and PS4 games are now available. So here it is. Today's the day for what is arguably PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium's biggest and best monthly game refresh, as 17 quality titles are now available to download. The lineup is spread across 14 PS5, PS4 games, and 3 PS1 classics, which I know Andre is getting ready. Andre's probably going to jump through the screen at me if I don't let him talk right now.
No, I actually had a question. I didn't know they were still making Ace Combat games. Are they?
I don't think there's been a new Ace Combat game in 4 or 5 years.
Not since PS4.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It must be this one. Okay.
It has a VR mission in it that's amazing.
Yeah,
really.
God, I wish they developed it like a full game behind it.
I've heard about that. Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
That would be so unreal to just. Oh, I can't even imagine.
All right, so for February 2023, here is the full lineup of PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium games hitting right now. Starting with Horizon Forbidden West for PS4 and PS5. I am shocked. I am shocked
that it came out so quick.
That it came out so quick. Yes, within a year. The game just had its 1 year anniversary, actually. So I am shocked. We've also got The Quarry available for PS4 and PS5, as well as Resident Evil 7 Biohazard for PS4. Outriders PS4 and PS5 is also available, with Scarlet Nexus, which I heard wonderful things about from our boy Austin.
No, I played this a lot on the Xbox when it was on Game Pass for a while, and it's really good.
Okay. Yep. Borderlands 3 makes the jump over as well for PS4 and PS5. It's funny. I thought the Handsome Collection was just a thing, right? Or are they just kind of trickling us down the Borderlands games one by one? Maybe. I don't know. No. We've also got Tekken 7, the PS4 version, also available, as well as Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown for PS4, Earth Defense Force 5 for PS4. I did not know there was 5 of these games. I did not know this. There are?
There's more than that.
Okay.
Damn, something like Fast and Furious.
We've also got Oninaki coming out for PS4, which I think I'm going to have to try that, because I really want to play that when they announced it back on PC 3 years ago, and I think I want to try that.
It's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's made by the same developers as Lost Sphere, and those are 2 solid RPGs, kind of old school, kind of Chrono Cross style RPGs.
Yeah. It was the art style for Oninaki that got my attention. I think that's kind of where I'm at now with JRPGs. If it looks pretty, I might play it, because I almost jumped on Genshin Impact. Almost. Lost Sphere is also available this month. The what? The weebs?
Yeah, you need to get off that weeb shit with Genshin Impact.
Oh! I said almost. I never played it. I never played it.
Who plays that game?
Who plays that game? Not me.
I didn't play that game for sure. No.
Let me just delete that from my.
Hold on. Let me just delete my history for a second.
Yeah.
We've also got I Am Setsuna for PS4, as well as The Forgotten City for PS4 and PS5, and Destroy All Humans, the PS4 version, is finally available for more people to play. Over on the classic side,
wait, listen, there is 3 games in this section for PlayStation Plus Premium Classics. 2 of the other games, don't even bother, throw them out the goddamn window. The Legend of Dragoon. The PS1 fucking golden child is here, ladies and gentlemen. It's been too long, okay? I don't even care about Wild Arms 2 and fucking Harvest Moon. Don't care. The Legend of Goddamn Dragoon is here. If you know, you know. If you don't, play it. Move on. That's it. That's all we're talking about. Move on. I don't care. Move on. That's it.
Stoy. Remember Andre's very first episode back in episode 88? The first game that came out of his mouth after Destiny was a Legend.
This is it. Full circle moment right here.
Andre, you made it.
I did it. It's a good day. It's a good day right here.
Everything came full circle for you, man. I'm happy for you. I mean, I'm happy for this too. I'm glad this game deserves a remaster.
February 22nd.
I'll take this too.
And guys, Legend of Dragoon has trophy support. They put trophies in the game.
Wow.
For you achievement whores out there, go for it.
That's gonna make people very happy for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, like this is if you know, you know. That's just it. If you know, you know.
Andre's about to cry like he's doing an acceptance speech for the Oscars.
I just want to thank Sony and SquareSoft.
No,
was that Enix?
No. That was an individual Sony. That was first house Sony, in-house Sony.
Yeah, but no, I could have sworn that was anyway.
I don't think. I don't. Now you got me. Looking. Legend of Dragoon was developed by Japan Studio.
Okay, got it. I thought that was Square. Oh well.
No, it feels like a Square game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It feels like a Square game. Like, shoot.
It does. But hey, there's a little part of me that just hopes one day it gets a sequel or a remaster. This is as close as I'll get, and I'll take it.
Yo, the game is almost 25 years old. Wow.
That's crazy to think.
Honestly, it holds up. I played this just a few months ago.
Yeah, I have it on my Vita, and I played it recently, and I was like, man, like it still plays pretty well.
Yeah.
It's still,
especially learning the combat art system where you do like the timed attacks and stuff like that. Like shit, yeah, like it's still good.
Those I had down to a T where I could close my eyes and do them. It was fucking unhealthy.
All right, and before we close this segment out, just a reminder: the PlayStation Plus collection will be pulled on the 9th of May. So this is your spoiler warning. Go ahead, if you've got any of these games that you want to play, add them to your library. You don't have to download them; just add them to your library so you keep them. Like it's 19 games that you didn't have to pay money for because you own a PlayStation 5. There you go.
Yeah. Not to mention, you got Horizon Forbidden West on there.
I know. Both Horizon games are now available on PlayStation Plus free to play if you're a subscriber.
That's huge.
Yes.
Before we continue, speaking of remasters and sequels, Stoy, this is kind of directed at you because LeRon, you didn't play it. The more I played Days Gone, the more I wonder why it never got a sequel.
Okay. I actually didn't play Days Gone because I was about to be offended.
You actually didn't play it, so I did.
For this, Andre, I have a conversation. If you dig deep, there was a lot of problems with the developer, and I think the game director got into some really hot water because the game developer, the game director literally came out and said Sony didn't give a shit about our game, so that's why we're not getting a sequel. So he's under the impression that just Sony didn't care, even though it sold and made money for them.
It was so like the more I play it, the more I'm like, why doesn't this have a second game to it? Like I'm not done the game, but I'm like, God damn, it's just like that's a question I wanted to ask you, and I just figured since from the topic a bit, it's just like, why did it never just catch wind of a second game?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you could probably go down the rabbit hole and find out, but I think it really left the game director of Ben Studios like kind of pretty sour.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
He's still bitching. Like every time someone invokes his name on Twitter, man.
Well, I mean,
Jesus
honestly,
Christ.
like I don't condone the behavior, but I guess I can understand why he's angry and upset because that game took a long time to develop.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching that game in development for like years. And then when it finally came out, it was like, oh, thank God, I've been waiting for this game for a long time. But, like, I mean, a baby project of yours that you've been working hard on for years. And it's like, man, I can't wait to make a sequel or something like that. And then for Sony to be like, no, dog, you're good.
Man.
You're
Nah.
good.
That's a no for me, dog.
We're good. We're good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys this: is the game deserving of a sequel? I know,
Yes,
I know there's a lot. I know there's a lot of fan uproar that the game should get a sequel, but I'm asking you guys because I trust your guys' opinions.
From where I am so far in the game, I think it does.
And I'm gonna tell you, according to the ending, it deserves a sequel.
Okay, so
Stoy, you were reading my damn mind because I was just about to ask you like how the game ends because like this is not like how The Last of Us ended. The Last of Us ended and it ended basically like it could have ended the story right there. The Last of Us, but this one seemed more open to a sequel. The Days Gone. Okay, okay, cool.
That's even more heartbreaking. Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
I don't need to ask the question what game you'll be downloading and trying first, do I? I don't need to ask that question, right? Right? I mean.
Actually, I may download The Quarry. I've heard really good things about The Quarry.
Oh man, The Quarry was great. Yeah. The Quarry was great. Yes, I can recommend that. I can recommend The Quarry.
It's not like that game. What's that other horror game?
Until Dawn.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is
it same studio actually? Same studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah, same studio and like some serious like acting and voice talent behind that game. Like there's like shit like almost everybody was somebody we knew in Hollywood.
Damn, that's crazy. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Good for them.
All right. We're moving on to the next topic here. It's our final news topic right before the speed run. So here we go. The new Xbox Game Pass titles for console, PC, and cloud have been dated. Stoy, can you take this for me while I gotta jot something down real fast?
Sure, no problem. So as we talked about before, when we talked about the video game releases coming this week, Atomic Heart is available. Joins the service today on cloud, console, and PC. And then we got Merge and Blade that is also on the cloud, console, and PC. Soul Hackers 2 as well is coming. And then also in March 2nd, F1 22 is coming as well. And it's probably one of the best racing games you'll ever play. The F1 series has really come a long way over the last years. Now that like F1 racing is like immensely popular here in America.
It's super.
It's all because of the Netflix series, like hands down, like 100%. That's the sole reason. Like the racing team Haas, that's like the only American team in
Haas, my boys.
There's sponsors like lining up, throwing them money. Like, yes, let's fucking go.
Yeah, I heard they just got sponsored by Chipotle. So
Chipotle, money grab.
I want them to win so badly,
bro. I'm just so glad Hulkenberg is coming back.
I know. He deserved so much more than what he got.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that he's on Haas. I'm like, let's go, boys.
Yep.
This is our year.
And Kevin Magnussen. Oh, man. Anyway, don't get me started. All right. So that's coming on March 2nd. Definitely look into that. And then Wolong Fallen Dynasty, which is, I think, kind of like a Chinese mythology action hack and slash game. That one's coming out on March 3rd as well. Day one Game Pass.
That's the game. That's the game I'm waiting for.
Aren't you like the Monkey King?
No. You're thinking
it's not the same one. Yeah, there is a Monkey King game. Yeah, but so games that are leaving soon, as in by February 28th, it looks like Madden NFL 23, Gundam Battle Alliance, Mountain Blade 2. Oh no, this is a different list that I'm reading.
I was like, am I?
Okay, so these are the titles that are leaving on the 28th. Alien Isolation, which sucks. Crown Trick,
sucks.
Dragon Ball Fighters. I say Fighters. I don't know about you. Far, Changing Tides, Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13, which goodbye.
Nobody's gonna miss that one.
Yeah. Madden NFL 21, and Octopath Traveler. which I forgot that did go multi-platform eventually. So
yeah, it did. Yeah.
So don't forget, if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, subscribers can claim 3 months of Apple TV, which can work to your benefit when the movie Tetris, comes out on Apple TV next month. Which I don't know if you guys saw that trailer, but that trailer looked batshit.
I haven't seen the trailer.
It's like
I don't know if I want to see the trailer. Is it?
You watch the trailer, and apparently it's based on a true story. Like the guys that worked for Nintendo literally had to smuggle the game code, and the developer himself out of the Soviet Union so that they could actually port it to Nintendo. So
wait. Okay. So this, when I saw the game, a show called Tetris is coming out, I was thinking like, oh my god, it's pixels all over again.
Nope. This is a true story on how Nintendo was able to get Tetris.
Okay.
And basically how, so like the story is that anything made in the Soviet Union was the property of the people.
The people.
AKA the government. So basically Tetris was like the property of the Soviet Union government.
Yeah.
So like Nintendo came in, it's like, hey, we want to put that on our console. We want to bundle that with the Game Boy.
And the USSR was like, "Niet."
No, no, bro. Is that how you say it? So they literally had to like smuggle the developer out of the Soviet Union and the code itself. Like, there's a car chase scene in this game.
Man,
really?
Damn, yeah. Nintendo went hard back in the days.
Nintendo, hey, when Nintendo wants something, Nintendo gets it.
Nintendo gets it.
Nintendo gets it.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
All right.
So it's Nintendo that caused the downfall of the Soviet Union. Nintendo
took the first brick out the wall.
Nintendo also caused COVID and all the COVID lockdowns with Animal Crossing. I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not here to argue with you.
Why does this movie look so intense? Oh my god!
I know. My logic is sound. Anyway,
is it a movie or a TV show?
It's a movie.
It's a movie coming to Apple TV.
Yeah.
What date? When is this?
March
13th, I think.
March 13th. Yeah.
I will watch this.
Taron Egerton, great actor.
I will be over at someone's house that I know that has Apple TV.
Or use your Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and get 3 free months.
I'm not an Ultimate subscriber. I'm not.
What is wrong with
now's your chance.
What is wrong with me? Like I feel like I don't need.
You have a library of hundreds of games
that I'm never going to play.
It's not the fact that you will play it. It's that you have them at your disposal and you can look at them and be like, look at all the games I could potentially play. All right.
I'm going to play Monster Hunter.
I'm going to play Monster Hunter. Hey, Monster Hunter Sunbreak is on Xbox Game Pass right now.
Haha, there you go.
Anyway, that's it for that.
All right, cool. All right, so let's go ahead and roll into the speed run, which just so you know, because like this is a newer segment of the show. This is our 4th installment of it, right? If I'm not mistaken. It's time for speed run, our rapid fire segment of gaming news and events that we feel you should have on your radar, but not enough to give like an in-depth coverage to. So this is how it works. Each one of us is gonna roll off one of these topics. And I think this time to make it a little more balanced, because like the last couple of times it was Stoy, Andre, and myself, and then it was Andre, Stoy, and myself, and then back to Andre and back to me. I think this time we're gonna switch it up just a little bit. It'll go Andre, Stoy, LeRon, then Stoy, and back to Andre.
Wait a minute. You're going to take the Destiny 2 news? You're not going to give that to Andre?
Andre, do you want it?
Sure. So if you want, it can go LeRon, Stoy, me, Stoy, LeRon.
We should really start doing this before the show records, so they're not hearing our post-production, our production banter.
This is raw. This is happening now.
All right. Andre's got control of this. Who's going first?
LeRon, and then Stoy.
Okay. All right. So topic number 1, PlayStation State of Play returns this week with PSVR 2 and Suicide Squad reveals. Sony Interactive Entertainment has announced that it will hold a State of Play broadcast this week. This being Thursday. So by the time this episode goes live on the YouTube and the podcast feeds, you will be able to watch the State of Play as well. So Get ready for that, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Anyway, the event will focus on updates from Sony's third-party partners, including PSVR 2 reveals and an in-depth look at Rocksteady's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game. Viewable on Twitch and YouTube. This will take place on Thursday, February 23rd at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. The show will run for about 45 minutes. Holy crap! This is a long one.
That's pretty standard, isn't it?
Actually, no, because most state of plays from Sony are like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Most of them. Yeah.
They must be showing a lot of Suicide Squad. Fingers crossed.
Well, speaking of, it'll be more than 15 minutes of all new gameplay details and updates on Suicide Squad. So there you have it. All right. I'm done. Who's next?
AI-generated Bethesda Leaks, quote, gives us a glimpse into a scary future. You've probably heard about all the AI discussions lately, like the Chat GPT chatbot that's been dominating headlines. And now we're starting to get a glimpse at how video game leaks, quote, will evolve in the future with this technology. In fact, it's pretty much taking over already, exclamation point. One of the stories that were doing the rounds over the weekend was the Starfield image leak, which was apparently taken from an upcoming trailer. That turned out not to be the case. Instead, it was created with an artificial intelligence art generation service called Midjourney. Earlier this month, an audio clip that appeared to show Bethesda's Todd Howard saying some very not safe for work things, seriously, about the Elder Scrolls 6 racked up over 400,000 views on YouTube. And we have to admit, the voice sounded extremely convincing. Now, I'm going to tell you that like this deep fake stuff like blows my mind sometimes. There's a page on Instagram where, you know, the movie Bridesmaids?
Yeah.
So they literally impose Owen Wilson, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ryan Reynolds, and I think a couple other like male actors onto the faces of all the women in that movie. And, like we're talking like very close likeliness to their voices. Like it's like AI could probably do some really scary shit, but AI is also like I'm on board with this kind of stuff. Like that, this stuff is hilarious. But anyway,
Jesus Christ,
Andre, you're next.
Destiny 2 cheat seller ordered to pay Bungie $4.3 million with an M in damages. A judge has concluded that Destiny 2 cheat seller Aim Junkies has to pay Bungie more than $4.3 million in damages. Bungie filed a complaint back in June 2021 suing Aim Junkies and its parent company Phoenix Digital for copyright infringement. In April 2022, a Seattle federal court partially dismissed the claim, stating that Bungie hadn't sufficiently explained how cheat software constituted in an unauthorized copy of its work. However, the judge did refer to an arbitration some of the other claims that weren't related to copyright, most notably claims that the software violated the DMCA's anti-circumvention provision. That was a really big word for me. As reported by Torn Freak, the arbitration judge has agreed and awarded a total of $4,296,222 to Bungie, which has now passed the decision to the federal court and asked it to approve an associated injunction, which will stop Aim Junkies from taking part in any similar activities. GG, go next. That's all I gotta say. That's it. That's it. You're like GG's go next. That's literally it. That is a lot of money. Holy Toledos.
I don't think they can afford that. Like, can they even afford that? That just seems like
shit.
Jesus.
There's a bunch of OnlyFans.
What was it?
There's a bunch of OnlyFans accounts getting opened for.
Yeah, like Nintendo sued that ROM website for like $20 million or something like that. Like,
yeah, and they got on his ass when he missed that second $15 payment. Remember that shit? They got wait, was it $15 or $50? I can't remember. How much he was. About? Well, remember, like they sued him, they won, and they agreed to just let him play monthly installments on it, and then he missed like his second one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
they took his ass back to court.
Oh God,
for like $15.
It was either $15 or $50. I cannot remember for sure.
Hopefully it's down bad.
Petty ass Nintendo.
Yeah. All right. Number 4, BioShock creator Ken Levine's new game has an official launch window now. The new game from BioShock creator Ken Levine is scheduled to be released within the next couple of years. Yes, couple of years. Yeah. In its earnings results this week, publisher Take-Two said it plans to release the game between now and the end of its 2025 fiscal year, which runs until March 31st of 2025. Judas, it's the name of the game, is one of 87 games Take-Two is planning to release during this window. 38 of which of those are mobile titles. Although delays are always possible. Like we're barely in 2023, so who knows what's going to happen by 2025, right? Judas is a debut title from Ghost Story Games, which was formed by Ken Levine following the closure of the BioShock studio Irrational Games. Levine is not currently involved with the next BioShock game, which is in development in 2K Games studio Cloud Chamber. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yes. In 2 years.
All right.
Nintendo's stock price dropped 7.5% after latest financial results. The company lowered sales targets and said exchange rates were particularly to blame for a decline in profit. The company's Tokyo Stock Exchange price dropped from 5,624 yen down to 5,201 yen, its biggest drop in over a year. The drop puts Nintendo's shares back to roughly where it was in January of last year, when it dropped to 5,192 yen, and suggests a negative reaction to the publication of Nintendo's latest financial results on Tuesday. Nintendo also said it expects to sell 18 million Switch consoles by the end of March. Really? Which is down from the 19 million predicted in the previous quarter and 21 million before that. That would mean that as it approaches its 7th year on the market, Switch sales will have declined for 2 fiscal years in a row, down from 23 million units in fiscal year 22 and 28.8 million units in fiscal year 21. Huh. I just think, like, honestly, like, I thought the last 6 months of Nintendo releases were kind of failures, like, financially.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Even though Pokemon, like Scarlet and Violet were disasters. It's still raked in a whole bunch of sales. Yeah.
The minute you announce a new Pokemon game, everyone just gets bricked up for it. Like
Nintendo's swimming in money, like Donald Duck and DuckTales. Is like, you people buy anything we make. Fuck you.
Yeah, right. You put Mario, Pokemon, or Link on a game case, people are like, oh,
because Metroid don't do shit for them. They don't care about Metroid.
No, that's just a love letter for fans. But like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet broke as shit. You still bought it, you fuckers.
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
All right, well, that was a speed run for us. We're going to go ahead because we've got some actual questions from the audience here. So I feel like we should go ahead and get this rolling. All right, and actually, we've got 2 questions, not just 1 question, but they're both from the same person. So thank you to Eddie V from Nintendo Power Block, better known as That Retro Code on Twitter. So, guys, question number 1. Eddie wants to know, do we think that the PlayStation will have a bevy of releases next year? I'm thinking next year, he meaning 2023, and he says specifically more, huh?
2024,
well, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on in 2024. So
when I hear him say next year, I hear him think 2024.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go with that. And he's a little more specific. He says more than just 3 big titles. So guys, what do you think? PlayStation. Are we going to see? It basically sounds like he's asking, are we going to see more of the same from Sony, or are we going to see new stuff?
We're going to see new different stuff.
Yeah, I want to say new things. I don't know how many, but I want to say new things.
Yeah, I don't have a crystal ball, and I definitely don't have insider details like what's going on over at House Sony. The house that Crash Bandicoot built, and Ratchet and Clank, hold down and stuff like that. So I don't know, but I feel like they're going to have more than 3 big titles for sure. Like I just don't know like what their lineup of releases are, because like, you know, they brought out new hardware this year, you know, that being PSVR 2, you know, more than likely. Well, we know somewhere down the road like a pro version of the PlayStation 5 is coming. We just don't know like, you know, when that's viable.
I really honestly think it'll be more like a slim version.
I think so too.
I mean, the pro like it's already future proof. Like it's already able to run 8K, even though no games run 8K yet. But
yeah. You know. But honestly, like I don't know. I can't predict like what games we're gonna see. Like I don't know if we're gonna see Uncharted games. We're gonna see Last of Us games. We're gonna see if we're gonna see more Horizon games.
Uncharted's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Well, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I can't tell if any of this stuff is going to happen or if they're going to do, or just going to do completely new stuff. Like, I mean, like Sony picked up what, like 8 individual studios, including Bungie last year, you know, like they've got Jade Raymond's house. They've got a couple other people. Housemarque, you know, is there. And Housemarque has been making unique and interesting things since they became a Sony property and stuff like that. Look at Returnal that just released on PC, you know? So yeah, like I don't know by what he means by bevy of releases, but I think 2024 is probably going to be a solid year. You know, we got to get past the hump of 2023 because like this year is like jam packed with shit, you know, from stuff that was supposed to be released between 2021 and 2022 years, you know. So who knows what the hell's going on?
I could see them make like 5 big titles. Like they don't have to be big AAA titles, but I could see some pretty like 5 really decent first party titles, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got Wolverine and, you know, and I think Spider-Man, I think is supposed to come out this year. So
Spider-Man's this year, but
Wolverine next year.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but I imagine there's got to be some surprises in there. I know they keep teasing that they're working on Siphon Filter, which would be amazing. But
oh my God, are they? Wow.
I don't know. They, you know, it's
I haven't heard that in a hot minute.
Yeah. I you know, there's probably stuff that they're working on that, you know, I don't like to speculate either. Like, it's just like, I'll react to the news when they come out, but I'm not sitting here like thinking in my head, like, oh, it'd be amazing if PlayStation did this. Like, honestly, it'd be amazing if PlayStation came out with a new Siphon Filter. That's great. We haven't had a really good spy game in a very long time, since Splinter Cell.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Had like a very big yawn that I could not stifle there. I'm sorry.
Do I bore you?
No. It's more like the events of the day are catching up to me. Like it's been long days, which is why like I need to apologize for like how like stagnant the release schedule has been going for the podcast so far. Like most of them are not getting up on Thursday like they're supposed to. Like hell,
we recorded 2 episodes that haven't even released. Ouch.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, the last 2 episodes we have not been released.
They're on. No, they're episode 109. It might not be on audio podcast, but episode 109 for sure is on YouTube, and episode 108 is on YouTube also.
Will Microsoft and Sony be inspired by each other's new IPs to create newer franchise ideas in their own way? Essentially, and this is in parentheses, copycat syndrome. I'm just gonna move on. So that is also
Stoy is a jerk. Oh my God.
I mean, I'm just saying. If I could, I'm like, we recorded 2 episodes that haven't released. That's what I'm saying.
See, now you got my. Keep talking about the topic. I need to know for sure now. I need to know for sure.
So what Eddie's asking is are Sony and Microsoft going to look over their walls to see what the other's doing and try to make something similar? So I know we talked about this before the show recorded, where we said, okay, you know, there was the time when Sony made Infamous, and then there was another game similar in scope that was called Prototype. You know, other like kind of like third person action adventure games. You know, you have Gran Turismo and Forza as being a prime example too of, you know, obviously being simulation racing games that have come out, you know, and competing against each other. So I don't think they're going to do anything like that, because I really think they want to really identify themselves as being unique to a point where it's like we have something that they don't. And it's like, well, okay, if you're either a Gran Turismo or you're a Horizon fan, not Horizon, Forza fan, they're both kind of similar games, but so that's what I think.
I hope they don't copy each other, but I have a feeling that we might see some of it.
I could actually, you know what I could actually see? I could actually see Microsoft grabbing a superhero IP.
That's true. They
Like,
don't really have one yet.
So Sony's got the rights to Spider-Man in every facet almost.
Yeah.
So obviously they got Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy for them, but I could see Microsoft grabbing maybe some big major
DC thing.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Like, it'd be kind of, I don't know who they could grab. Like, actually, I would probably love a Green Lantern game. That'd be amazing. Oh my god! Now I'm thinking, oh geez. Anyway.
No, I'm sorry. I'm looking through some stuff. I'm sorry because you really got me on a tailspin now about like or do I have missing episodes of the podcast? Like so thanks, Stoy.
No problem.
No problem.
Keeping things honest.
All right. Just to really just throw out my answer here to our second question. I feel like the copycat syndrome like doesn't happen as frequently as we think it does. I think it happens more in development houses than it does in publisher studios and stuff like that. And also, like, we haven't really seen a lot of similar games coming out. Like, I mean, what was the last game that like came out that looked really similar to another game? Would that be the Tomb Raider reboots versus Uncharted? In my opinion, like I feel like those games had some striking similarities, but at the same time did not seem like each other's games. Who knows? Like, I also feel like like Sony and Microsoft have different philosophies for how they approach like game development, stuff like that. Sony is still like wrapped up in the single player experiences and stuff like that. Whereas Microsoft still kind of wants to go in this, this diverse ecosystem of multiplayer and connectivity and stuff like that. I don't see it drastically changing. It will change for both companies because, like, with this whole Activision Blizzard deal now, like Sony realizes now that it needs to adapt, which is why like the Bungie deal happened, the Jade Raymond studio thing happened, the studio with the former Call of Duty and the Call of Duty devs and those guys have formed a studio. What is it called? Phoenix or something? I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I forget.
But also at the same time, Microsoft is also, like we got Phil Spencer saying like he really needs to like tap into like the same potential that Sony has with the single player experiences because he's paying attention to like what people play on what people download and play on Game Pass, and he's noticing that a lot of people out there are looking for single player experiences. And, games like Redfall aren't going to get it. A game where you're supposed to play like with online connectivity and stuff like that, so there's that. The DRM angle, that keeps happening. So like that. So, like it's one of those things where, like both companies, they might be inspired by what each other are doing, but I don't think they're going to wind up just like, like making similar titles. I don't think so.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think they want to kind of identify themselves, like each one as being unique. We have unique experiences. We have unique games that you can't find anywhere else or anything similar.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that, especially in the multiplayer shooter space, like I'm thinking like PlayStation is cooking up an elite AAA first person shooter game. Maybe just in case the Call of Duty thing doesn't work out. I don't know.
Do you think they're bringing back Killzone? Do you think it's Mag? What do you think?
I would love for them to bring back Killzone. I mean, Mag. I think I've said this multiple times before. I want them to bring back either Killzone or SOCOM. And honestly, I think SOCOM would be the bigger one for them.
Bring back Resistance Fall of Man, you cowards. Bring it back.
Too. I keep forgetting about Resistance. Damn it.
Bring it back. God, I don't always get my jollies off on first person shooter games, but man, Resistance was one of those ones that like every time they released a new version of that game, after playing the first one, every time it released like when 2 and 3 and the one for PS Vita came out, I was like, man, I just scooped them all up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. If you liked to ask us your for our thoughts and opinions on anything going on in gaming, tweet us at crossroads_VGP or email us at crossroadspspod@gmail.com. We'd love to have your questions and we'd love to answer them. So there's that. All right, everyone. It is time for our big topic tonight, and you know what? This was Stoy's brainchild, so I'm going to go ahead and let him take the reins on this one as well. So, Stoy, lead us off, man.
Well, we got like the big conventions are kind of back now. There was a lot of speculation whether E3 was ever going to come back, and that got bought up by the convention company ReedPop, who runs PAX East, and PAX, they have like an East and a West, and those have always been pretty popular because they're more fan centric fests. E3 has always been more professional, like journalism style festivals, but I think the last few years they've kind of invited the public a little bit more to make more money. There's a ton of like retro festivals out there now too. In Milwaukee, we have the Midwest Gaming Classic, which is one of the biggest ones, where it's like everything retro and not only just video games, but like pinball, arcade. There's tabletop, all this stuff. So I was kind of thinking like a lot of the bigger conventions like E3, it's like struggling to kind of find a way to really kind of, I guess, be relevant. So I thought to myself, like, oh, what if I was able to start my own convention, and I posed that question to you guys. If you guys were to start your own kind of video game convention, like you were given the reins, you were given a boatload of money, create a video game convention, what kind of convention would you like to see? So, I mean, I could pass it to one of you guys to start.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I would love for Sony to just bring back the PlayStation experience. That's just me. But if they can't bring it back, then I would love to like have like, and it's not even just Sony, because like I feel like the downfall of E3 was the moment that Microsoft, Nintendo, and eventually Sony turned around and said, hey, we're no longer having press events at your show. Yeah. I think that was one of the major downfalls of E3. Another downfall of E3 I think happened was E3 used to be just a press event. Like only journalists could get into it and stuff like that. And when they made it more and more open to the public and stuff, the waters got muddied and stuff like that, and I think, honestly, I think the reason why E3 like kind of crashed and burned the way it did, and why like the big three turned around and said, "Hey, we're not having a presence at your show," is because when they opened it to the public, they could no longer control all the narrative about their stuff. Like look at some of the debacles that happened. Like look at Watch Dogs. Like Watch Dogs look like super next gen compared to what we wound up getting. At home release and stuff like that. So I would actually want a show where I could be able to find a way to actually woo, if not all three, at least two of the big three back. Whether it's Nintendo and Microsoft, whether it's Sony and Microsoft, whether it's Sony and Nintendo, find a way to woo at least two of them back. But also, not so much give them the wherewithal to like do whatever the hell they want. Because like when gaming companies control the narrative, like this is why we have situations now where we've got games that, like we've got games that get review embargoed and stuff like that. So it automatically gives me trust issues and things like that. We just need to find a way to have it more fair and balanced that, like the public can see it, but also, the gaming companies can kind of have their run and, have control of their properties and stuff like that. So honestly, I guess what I'm asking for is an all-inclusive experience, for the gaming enthusiasts out there, as well as the press, and as well as like the major companies, being able to do their thing and stuff like that, without like I think one of the major things right now is like in this day and age of the internet, like like executives for like the companies, they're getting harassed a lot, which they should, because like, if when Phil Spencer steps in it, like he needs to take accountability. When Jim Ryan steps in it, he needs to take accountability. When Miyamoto steps in it, he needs to take accountability. We don't ever see Miyamoto step in it.
I was going to say, no, I don't ever see that.
Yeah, we don't ever see it, but like we're now in a day and age where the people have just as much power as like the entities do and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know what my dream like show would be, but I definitely love the PlayStation experience. The 3 different shows that they had, and I told myself like, because like they didn't have one the year before COVID. And then when COVID happened, it now just seems like they're never going to have another PlayStation experience. Microsoft is going back to doing their shows on, and in the center, like right across the street from E3. And Nintendo, they're just going to do directs. They're going to do directs, and they're going to have tree houses at like any of these events, and stuff like that. And I don't know if I trust Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest. Like it still seems like it needs a little bit of work. So yeah, I'm sorry I don't have a more definitive answer for you, but in my head, I kind of know what my convention would look like, if I were to do it. And in my convention, like we would have like the presence of like the major developers and publishers there and stuff like that, and it would be a show that not just tries to sell you games, but also celebrates games at the same time.
Andre,
I would have it where so if I had it. Friday to Sunday. Let's just say that. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'd give each of the big 3 their day. So Friday would just be like an all PlayStation day. You have cosplaying, you have like people in mascots of game characters, you have voice actors and actresses show up, you have people that made games, game companies, you can try out games, talk about gaming, celebrate PlayStation as a whole, open to the public, merch, yada yada yada. Saturday, Xbox. We got the Chief walking around. We got anyone else, any other Xbox mascot walking around. Again, we got voice actors, voice actresses, companies, important people, celebs. Hell, bring them all. But like, I would want that so that across all 3 days, that would be my thing. But then but then Microsoft could do their own thing, but it would have to work in the parameters I would set. So I am happy that I get to see my dream come true, and Microsoft can flourish and basically do and bring whoever they want. But I just want how I picture it to work with them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, yes. Honestly, that's kind of a interesting way to do it, is like literally having a 3-day weekend and then give everybody their time in the limelight to shine.
Yeah, that way, like, each day isn't like stacked on someone, and then like you can't have like Nintendo be like, oh, my game didn't sell because of the release of PlayStation that same week, and then you're like shooting fire at each other, and it's stupid. You all have one day, you all have 12 hours to just bang out the dopest shit you possibly can.
Yeah.
You have 12 hours to impress X amount of people, go nuts. I don't care who you bring. You can bring whoever. Just have fun and celebrate Nintendo from the day we started till now, and that's it. That's how I would do it.
That's cool. That's
good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Honestly, it sounds better than what I sound like. I sound like I was more a planner than an executor.
I honestly just thought of that like on the fly. That's something that I would love to do. I would love to just like being a consumer, I'd love to go to that and just have a day of just all PlayStation, all Xbox, all Nintendo, and then walk away and be like, wow, I learned so much and I gained so much knowledge of each 3, right? So
that's cool.
That's me. It's me in a nutshell right there.
Stoy, what you thinking?
I kind of started jotting down notes, of like what I would like to see, and everything I was jotting down, I was like, I'm not imagining a convention, I'm imagining a festival.
Ooh, that'd be sick. Like a gaming festival. That'd be cool.
Like literally like a gaming 3-day, 4-day festival. Like for example, like Thursday could be VIPs only. We're just inviting the journalists, the professionals, to kind of like view access games early on, so that you can start banging out articles and content, over the weekend of what you got to see firsthand. Maybe even some secret stuff, but it should be like a celebration of games, really. And I've been to more retro conventions in my past, so I would like a blend of, Sony's got a huge library expanding couple decades. So does Microsoft. I mean, Nintendo's got a hell of a history. So I would like to see a blend of the two, of like, them embracing their histories, and like maybe having some like, play these games on some legacy systems, or, even like having like marketplaces, like even like, sellers that could sell a lot of the old retro stuff. I mean, granted, Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony they aren't going to see that money unless they're sitting on stockpiles of old retro games in their factories, which would be fucking amazing.
Right.
But that'd be cool to see some stuff like that. And then I had ideas like, we could have like a concert every night or something like that, like a couple bands, video game music artists. I don't know if I talked about this, but a couple months ago, I saw, God, I'm drawing a blank on their name, but I saw it's like these, Bit Brigade. Bit Brigade's the name. They play kind of like rock metal music, but like what they do is they have someone run a speed run of a game, and they literally play the soundtrack to that game. So like, for example, I saw them basically,
that is cool.
Basically a guy beat the original Legend of Zelda for the Nintendo in front of all of us here, and the guys just played the background to all the music in the game, and it was amazing. Jeez. Like, it was so cool. So I like to see, there's so many different kinds of like video game music artists. There's one guy local here, Gunderslam. He's a big metal guy, so like he plays a lot of like metal covers of video game songs. So Viking Guitar is another one. I know those guys personally too. I mean, so that, and then even like I kind of like took advantage of like TwitchCon. TwitchCon had like a place where you could actually meet some of your favorite streamers. So to get access to some of, to meet people, to meet celebrities, to sign autographs, to get pictures and stuff. But really kind of the bottom line is that where E3 failed is that they were trying to grab as much money as they could. And with conventions and festivals, you're not going to make the money that you're going to expect to make. In some cases you either break even or you even lose. So, if we're gonna think about something similar to this, we have to think like this is a celebration of video games. It shouldn't be like we're here to just grab as much money as we can. That's my line of thinking with it.
I like that.
Yeah, you guys had some wonderful answers, man. You guys basically like went. You guys went like the consumer level, where I was going the business level. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing with video games, because it's like it's such a very divisive. It could be such a very divisive and very toxic community of people, as I've said numerous times. But I think there's a good way to celebrate all the good things that it's done and brought us. And video games are our business. I get it, so we need to kind of make money off of it, but. You can't make money off of everything. True.
Stoy, you got the final word. Take it.
I guess that was almost it. Like, honestly, like,
okay.
It's there's so many different kinds of conventions out there now to celebrate video games all across the world, that it's just, they all each do their own individual different things very well, and finding a way to kind of blend the two to maybe make one super convention or one super, I don't know if that's even possible, but like I said, I think conferences should be more of a celebration of video games instead of just, a press junkie.
I feel like, sorry, go on.
Or maybe they should be. I mean, honestly, LeRon hit it where like they said, like, have it kind of go back to just being journalists and press only. But in this day and age, everybody that starts their own website is a journalist, so it's not like the way it used to be where it's like you could invite like magazine editors and publications and like reputable YouTube or reputable website places.
Well, just to just kind of to backtrack real quickly on what I was thinking, like, let E3 be what E3 was intended to be. Like, let it be the journal, the thing for journalists and stuff like that. Because with PAX, and all these other conventions and stuff like that, that is the consumer experience right there. Because I mean, we're living in a day and age of PlayStation Directs, Nintendo Direct. I'm sorry, PlayStation, not PlayStation Directs, State of Plays, Nintendo Directs, and whatever Microsoft decides they want to call their thing. Sometimes it's called a Direct, other times it's called a showcase. Like we're in a day and age now where like virtually that stuff gets to us anyway. Stuff like that. So but I know the one thing that the companies wish they could do was, be able to like talk to the press about this stuff, the journalism, the journalists, stuff like that. Let E3 be that thing again, where it's just, it's invitation only. It's journalism. But the one thing I will say, like, if you're a journalist and you're going to this, think about us, the people who play video games. Like, don't give us misinformation. And don't give us biased bullshit, stuff like that. Don't
be subjective, be objective.
Exactly. Because we're gonna find it out when we go to PAX. We're gonna find it out when we go to whatever this is and that is. All these other things. Like PAX is the only one I can think of because PAX is the one that's in my brain right now. But there's so many other gaming conventions and stuff out there. There's just ways to do it, and I feel like money gets in the way of all this stuff at the end of the day.
It's a business.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up because we're getting close to Cinderella time here. All right. So I just want to go ahead and say thanks a lot. That is our show for tonight. It's always a pleasure to like do this thing for everybody out there. We love you. As always, keep tuning into the Crossroads Gaming Podcast. Be sure to check the show notes in our YouTube or podcast description to find all of our links, as well as how you can contact the show directly. And we're just going to go ahead, throw out some stuff right now that's featured on bossrush.net that we think you might enjoy. Starting with this. Whoa. that screwed me up.
I'm sorry.
Have there been video games you were so excited about that you took off from school or work to play on day one? How about this year? Like, Stephanie Klimov wants to know your habits in the February 16th edition of the Boss Rush Banter, which is all about playing hooky to play video games. I love it. It's hard to believe it's been it has been 1 year since the release of Horizon Forbidden West. We mentioned that earlier. Our friend over at the writing team, Miss Mary Helen Norris, delivered some kind words to Guerrilla's masterpiece in her article, Happy Birthday, Horizon West. And lastly, Dead Island 2's release date has been moved up. Exclamation point, up. Are you as excited about the news as our boy Stoy is? Please check out his article detailing that Dead Island 2 has gone gold and is launching 1 week early. All this is over right now over at bossrush.net. For more interesting news and unique talking topics, bossrush.net has you covered. So swing by and check out all the things our talented writers, content creators, and contributors are serving up on the site. If you'd like to keep the conversation going with us, you can find the Crossroads Video Game Podcast over on Twitter at Crossroads_VGP. If you enjoyed tonight's show, please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss a new episode when it comes out. Also, for our podcast listeners, please leave us a review, and if you really love the show, hit us up a 5-star rating. Like, let us know how you really feel. We would love it. Hey, everyone. This has been episode 110 of the Crossroads Podcast. We love you and appreciate you for hanging out with us. As a partner of the Boss Rush Network, please go out there, play games, be better, And please come back and join us for our next all-new episode of the Crossroads Podcast. We love you. You guys have a good night.
Or have a good morning, whatever time you're listening to this.
Or afternoon. And go play Legend of Dragoon. God damn it.
God damn it.
Not hard. Okay.
You sons of bitches.
All right. Crossroads is signing off. Good night.